Greetings, everybody. This is Hussein from TotalUrbanSurvival.com, and today is Weapons Wednesday, and today I'm going to be telling you which backpacks you should be buying and which backpacks you should absolutely never buy. Welcome back, guys. Now, when it comes to buying backpacks, there are a couple of things that you need to know. And before we get into the actual reviews of the different backpacks and the ones that I think you guys should definitely be taking a look at, I'm going to give you the 5 things which are really super important when you're buying backpacks, okay? Now, if those of you who don't know, you haven't visited my website, then you can just listen to me very quickly. I've been all over the place, okay? If we're talking Africa, we're talking Asia, we're talking Europe, we're talking North America, I've been all over the place. So for the past 20 years, I've been traveling around all over the place, and I know how to get around different places. I speak 6 languages, and if you want to talk about survival all over the globe, I've been there and I've done it. First of all, I am speaking from a martial arts perspective. I'm speaking from the martial arts guy perspective, instructor perspective. So that means I'm going to be looking at a little bit different things than if you're talking to somebody who's coming from the background of being a solo hiker, or somebody who's coming from the background of being, for example, a day trekker around the city for fun and taking pictures and drinking lattes. For me, I'm thinking about the backpack as a tool. I'm also thinking about the backpack as a defense weapon, and I'm also thinking about the backpack as a place for storage for things that I need to have, right? So there are 5 different things that I'm really looking at when it comes to a backpack. The first number 1 thing that I'm looking at is comfort. I mean, if you're walking around, let's say, for example, you're traveling to another country after this damn pandemic is over and we can get back to our lives again. If you're looking about walking around different places all over the place, it's hot, somewhere Southeast Asia, Africa, whatever, maybe even South America, it's bloody hot. Africa's hot. It's like 40 degrees some places, 42 degrees. You're going to be really, really uncomfortable if that backpack is like all over you. You have these backpacks with these gigantic, thick, the cheap backpacks with the big, thick, heavy straps coming down and stuff like that. It is nasty, and it's going to be really uncomfortable, and you're not going to be happy after 7 or 8 or 9 hours wearing that thing, trekking through wherever it is you're going through, especially if you're in the desert. It's not nice, okay? It's really uncomfortable. So you want to get something that is nice, thin. It has holes in it, maybe on the straps coming down. It's comfortable to wear, it's breathable, and it's lightweight, right? So that's the first thing that you want to take a look at. You want to check what is the comfort level of that backpack. And the only way to do it, put it on, okay? Or get a pretty good review in terms of when it gets to, well, what it's like in a comfort environment. And I'll give that to you afterwards. The second thing is concealability. Now, like I said, I'm looking at this from a martial background. So I'm not looking at it from the perspective of just a guy being cool and wanting to have a backpack to go around and chill with girls. I'm looking at it also from a martial perspective. So when I look at it like that, I look at a backpack and I say, what is the concealability for me now? I mean, when I say concealability, I mean like the grayness of it. I mean, is this like really an outstanding, those of you who are familiar with the gray man concept, it's kind of like going into an environment and kind of blending into the environment as much as you can, because you don't want to stand out too much being the foreigner, right? It's never a good thing, especially when you go to places where are a little bit more poor, a little bit more underdeveloped, and you're coming from a more developed, wealthier country, and you don't want to show that too much to people so that they feel like, okay, this guy's a good target. So basically, concealability is really important for me, and that basically means that I'm wearing something that doesn't stand out too much and that doesn't portray to the entire environment around me that there's a foreigner here and he's probably got a lot of cool gadgets in his backpack. That's what I don't want. So concealability is that for me in my mind. Am I a little bit concealable in the way that I'm walking around? Am I a little bit gray in the way that I'm walking around? That I don't protrude in the environment too much, and I don't stand out too much in front of people. So that's really important for me. And I think that should be important for everybody, especially if you're looking at this from a martial arts perspective, right? And from a tactical perspective. Now, Does that mean that I have there's no way? I mean, that people are going to be taking a look at me and they're just gonna I'm going to disappear? Absolutely not. I mean, if you're in Southeast Asia and I'm like a 6 foot Arab, okay, and I'm walking around in Southeast Asia, it doesn't matter what happens. Everybody's still going to notice me. But if I have a big flashy Kenzo backpack with red or Louis Vuitton or something like that backpack, and it's really flashy and standing out and looking really incredible, people are going to notice that pretty fast. So what I want is something that's a little bit more subdued, a little bit cooler, not so flashy colors, not so exciting, so that it doesn't catch people's eye as quickly. So that's a very important thing. Number three thing, quality. You want to make sure that you are buying quality. The last thing that you want is your backpack to break on you, or the shoulder strap or the attachments to break or stuff like that. It's a nightmare, especially when you're trekking in a place and you're not comfortable, or maybe you're out in the middle of somewhere in the jungle in Pahang in Malaysia, or in Sumatra, or wherever you are at, somewhere. Or it could be even in your local hood somewhere in California or Arizona, out in the desert somewhere trekking. And I don't know, is there a desert in California? I know there is in Arizona. But anyways, the point is you're out trekking somewhere locally, and it could be the same thing. You don't want your equipment to break on you, right? So you want to buy the best that you can afford at the time when you go. You don't want to buy and save money on this. You want to buy something that's good quality, something that's going to last. Okay. Number four thing, you want to make sure that you've got enough space in there. You got to make sure that you got enough space for water. You got to have some tools and emergency stuff with you. You got to have your documents with you if you're traveling overseas. Don't carry your original documents. Better to carry copies, okay, and leave your original documents in a safe place. All right, so space is important. We need to have everything inside that we need. We need to make sure that our gear and everything is in there, and we want to make sure that it's secured properly in there. There are very good like for example, meshes that you can put over. Okay, there's a mesh you can put over your bag that is kind of cut resistant, because sometimes when you're in a compact trains and stuff like that, Southeast Asia's got a lot of these. Tokyo's notorious for this, and they'll literally slash a hole with a razor blade. They'll slash under your bag with a razor blade, and you wouldn't feel anything in a moving train. It's happened to me before, and you wouldn't feel anything at all. And I'm pretty precautious, and even I'm pretty cautious. So you got to really be careful, especially with the razor blade. It's hard to notice. It's so smooth and so fast, and with the bump in the train, the razor blade goes, you will never know. Okay, so you got to be really careful with that. So a mesh covering on your backpack is a great thing. The next thing that you need to concern yourself with is style. Style is super important, at least for me. I think style is important, because style is basically not only for you, but not only for other people. Sorry, it's making it for you. It makes you feel good, right? Because you have a little bit of bling, you got a nice bag, you feel comfortable, you got something good, you like the way that it looks. It doesn't mean you got to go out and buy Louis Vuitton. It means that you have to buy something that you like, that looks good for you, and it's a sexy looking bag. So that's what you got to look for. So that's what I look for. I want to make sure that I got a sexy looking bag. Okay, doesn't matter. So for me, that's important. For some people, it's not important. For me, it is important. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to start off with here first is the Timbuk2 Core Travel Blink Pack in black. Now this one, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is an excellent bag. I traveled to Taiwan with it. I traveled to Okinawa with it. I think I went to Sudan with this one also at the beginning. It's been to the desert. I mean, I had this bag for many years, and I sold it off. It's a really, really good bag. So this one, Timbuk2 is a great company. They make good bags for around $100, and you can really pick up some very, very nice looking styles. I chose this one in all black, because like I said, you want to go a little bit more subdued, but still got to be sexy. And black is sexy, black is sexy. So this is really nice. And it's got the space in it. It's really cool. You can easily put over a mesh pack on top, the cut resistant mesh pack. Mesh covering, and you're basically good to go. So I really like this backpack, and it's very comfortable, very breathable, and it doesn't weigh on you, and it's got nice side pockets for the drinks and stuff like that. This is a really good bag. So if you're looking for a backpack for like $100, this is a no-brainer. Okay, this is really a no-brainer, and there's enough pockets inside and stuff like that where you can put in your laptop and stuff like that. Always take your laptop with you. Don't leave it at the hotel. Those motherfuckers will take you your laptop and your data. So make sure you have your laptop with you. Okay, so you can take a look in here. There's good space in there. It's a nice looking bag, breathes well, fits well, and it's got enough room to put what you want in there. So for $100, you can't go wrong with this bag. And Timbuk2 has done a pretty good job, in my opinion, with the Core Travel Blink Pack. Okay, so that's my opinion on that one. Absolutely. Now, if you want to step up your game, because I know you guys are like me, you don't like to have just the regular thing. You want to step up your game. So you want to step up your game. Bellroy Transit Backpack. That's where we're going next. Now take a look at this bad boy. Now if you want to put a little bit of money in here, Bellroy is making some seriously nice stuff. I have a couple of items from Bellroy. I'm a bag boy. I love this stuff, I really like all of the gear and stuff like that. I really love the Bellroy backpack. It's so nice. It's clean. The lines are sexy. The colors are really deep and beautiful, and you can take it anywhere. It can go in a more business casual environment. It can go around with you when you're trekking in a very casual environment all around the world, wherever you're going. It's got enough space in it. It looks really good. It's high quality. I can't say enough about this backpack, man. It's so nice. So this is a very, very nice bag if you're looking to put a little bit more money in there and you're looking to go a little bit more classy. You got a little bit more sexiness to it. The other one is good, the Timbuk2. If you're on a budget and that's what you got, $100, go for that one, definitely. But if you got to put a little bit more into it, and you want to relax a little bit more, you want to look good for the ladies too, this is the way to go. This is absolutely the way to go. And my wife, she loves this backpack. And I had this backpack before. This is a very nice one. This is, the leather on it, they have leather trimmings and stuff on it. It's a nice, nice bag. So I really think that if you guys are putting into a little bit more money, this is definitely the way to go. Now, you guys, I told you at the beginning that I like style. I'm a fashionista. And people wonder why, because the Pendekar is all hardcore, he's fighting all the time. What is the deal with him in the fashion all the time? You notice I mentioned Louis Vuitton, and I mentioned Rolex, and I mentioned all of these, and Armani and Gucci and whatever, and all of these fashion houses. And the reason for that is because my sister actually went to a very famous fashion design school when I was young. So my sister actually studied fashion design, and her dream was to become a fashion designer. And she got into the fashion industry, and she got married and everything, and she set up her whole life and everything in the fashion industry. And she is now one of the top people in Saks Fifth Avenue, which is one of the famous places for all of you who like higher brands and beautiful designer stuff and whatnot. You should know Saks Fifth Avenue. So my sister's one of those ladies in there. And she knows her business when it comes to fashion stuff. So I grew up with her, and I was always helping her and stuff like that with all of her work from school. That's why I got involved into the whole scene when it comes to fashion and stuff like that. So that's why I really like it. And, even though it's 25 years later, 30 years later, but still, I remember it, I like it, I value the brands, I value the delivery of the promise of quality and all of those things that come along with it. So it's not just a name, but there has to be a promise of quality that goes along with that name, and craftsmanship and history that goes with that name. It's not just buying it because you want to put Gucci on your jacket. If it's not good quality and it says Gucci, I'll throw it away, okay? So you have to buy it because of the brand promise of quality and craftsmanship. And that's something that you can get very easily with good quality items like that. You pay a lot for it, but the quality of craftsmanship is quite amazing on a lot of those pieces. Now let's take a look at them. This is one of the bags that I'm using now, and this is the Coach Hudson. Now Coach is a little bit higher quality. Again, you're going a little bit stepping up now. You're going for about $375. This is all leather. This is a deep blue. It's a very, very beautiful, nice bag. As you can see, it's gorgeous, and it has a deep blue leather, and the feeling of the leather, everything is so nice, so comfortable. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite bags. I've been using it for about a year now. And I think that you can't go wrong with Coach. Coach makes very good quality products that wherever it's manufactured, it doesn't really make any difference unless you have a specific issue with it. So, for example, I don't like to buy things that are made in China simply because I don't like the policy of the government in China. That's why I don't want to support the country. I don't want to support the government. So I purposely don't buy things that are made in China. I'll prefer to buy made in Malaysia, buy made in Indonesia, made in Vietnam, or somewhere else. But I prefer not to buy products that are made in China. If I don't have a choice, okay, I use an iPhone. There's no choice. They leave them in China. What can I do? But I don't like the government. I don't like the authoritarian bullshit there. So that's my political stance. So I personally wouldn't buy those products if I have a choice. If I don't have a choice, well, like I said, what can I do? So the Coach usually produces somewhere in Southeast Asia, Vietnam. The quality of their bags is gorgeous. You're getting the super craftsmanship. They're really, really good. You can have a Coach bag for years. You're paying $300. But when you're paying $300, you got to remember that you're not paying $300 and then bang, that's it. You're going to be, every time you pick up that bag, you got to pay. You got to look at it pay per use, okay? Think of it as pay per use. So if you buy a cheap bag for like $50 and it's broken in 1 year, your pay per use is pretty high, okay? And I've tried this before. I bought a cheap bag at the night market in Taiwan, and it broke after like 4 months. This strap broke, and I'm not going to go and pay now to get the strap redone and stuff like that. Not at all. It's not going to happen, okay? So I'm just angry, and then I'll go to the Coach boutique and buy a new Coach bag. So for me, I think the quality is more important than anything else. And Coach craftsmanship is awesome. And your pay per use is so low because you're going to be using that bag for years, okay? I had a leather bag from Coach that I had in Taiwan. I used it for like 9 years, okay? Until I finally got rid of it when I was in Sudan. And I used it for the entire time that I was living in Taiwan. And that was like 8 or 9 years. So it's the pay per use is so low that when you look at $300 or $400, it's a high initial cost, but the pay per use is so low over the period of time that you're going to be having the bag. And it's still going to look spot on and sexy 9 years later if you take care of the leather. It'll look spot on 9 years later. And you have got incredible quality. You've got a beautiful design over here. It's so classic, so sexy, so nice. The deep, rich blues and the high quality leather, and it breathes so well. It's a gorgeous bag. So I would say the Coach Hudson backpack, if you're looking to spend a little bit more money and you want to have a little bit more of a classy travel item to go along with you, then this is definitely the way to go. Now, that being said, when we're looking at the more martial-oriented traveler, one of the things that are really important, you need to think about how you can secure yourself, right? Now, all of these backpacks, the reason why I choose backpacks that have very strong straps is because I use those straps for strangulations, I use those straps for trapping, I use those straps for all different kind of stuff. I reverse the backpack, put it in front, and then it's like a body shield, because I keep my, I keep my laptop inside all the time, and I keep a thick book with a hard cover in the side all the time. So if you want to stab or you want to slash, that's like a body armor that covers me in the front, and I can still use my hands for what I need to do. So if you're looking at it from the perspective of a martial traveler, a little bit more of a tactical perspective, then definitely the sexability of it, the sexiness of it, all of that stuff, sexability, I made a new word now again. The sexiness of it is important, but at the same time, you got to consider also the factor of being, can you fit your items inside, that you can create a little bit of a barrier between you and an adversary in a situation of edged weapons. Now, edged weapons are really important, especially if you're going around in Southeast Asia. If you are in an environment like, for example, Philippines, Southern Philippines, Thailand, etc., where there are more guns in the environment, okay? Those places have more guns in the environment. Malaysia, not so much. Indonesia, not so much. But Philippines and Thailand do have a lot of gun crime. You can take a look at something like this that you can use, and this is basically a bulletproof backpack insert. For $100, basically, you have very, very strong bulletproof insert that you can put inside. And I think you've got different shapes and stuff like that you can put in it. And what did they say over here? The rounds can stop. What rounds can it stop? It's 3A. So what did they say over here? You've got different sizes. The panel. Okay, so here we go. So you got a 357 Magnum a 44 Magnum 9mm, and a 44 caliber hollow point ammunition. It's been tested against all of those types of ballistics. I mean, that is really, really good. Definitely go for it. And this is the way to go. This is the way to go. So if you're traveling around, that's the kind of thing, and you're worried about ballistic protection. That's the kind of thing that you could be putting into your backpack. If you are walking around with the big ass tactical vest, ballistic protection, that's not a good idea. And not even a good idea to have it inside of your luggage, because you're immediately going to be identified by the customs and security people at your point of destination, where maybe your iPad is, or where your laptop is, your MacBook, whatever you're using. Put it in the back over there. I always use Mac, okay? Put it in the back over there, and that would probably be a good solution for you in that case. So I would suggest something like this if you need to worry about going to countries where gun violence is more predominant. And like I mentioned, Thailand is one of those places because they make a lot of handmade and underground illegal gun manufacturing is very common in Thailand. And yeah, they tried to sell me so many cheap, crappy made guns in Thailand. It's unbelievable. Low quality, but still, it's a gun. And Philippines, they have a good underground gun making industry also. Okay, so even though it's illegal in all of these places to have firearms, they're very common in the environment because they're poor countries and there's a lot of crime, and these criminal groups take advantage of that. Okay, so that's my opinion on that. And now, last of all, and most important thing, the thing that you should never go out with and never go anywhere with, the tactical backpack. 511 Tactical Rush 12 backpack, sandstone, new with tags, and you're paying the low price of $79. Now, before I rant and rave about the tactical backpack, does this mean that you shouldn't buy the tactical backpack because it is poor quality? No. 511 Tactical makes an absolutely fabulous quality product. Is it because of the style? Well, in my case, yes. I don't like the way that it looks. But for my purposes, I'm not a tactical officer, and neither am I a military person, so I don't need that look anyways. I couldn't care less. I prefer the Coach backpack with the bulletproof insert. Concealability, that's a problem. Quality is not a problem. Space isn't a problem. For comfort isn't a problem. You got everything. The problem, it is such a pronounced backpack, this tactical look, that as soon as you walk into an airport in a foreign country, as soon as you walk around town in a foreign country, it's basically the shoot me in the back backpack, because you're the first person that's going to get offed, because people think that you're a threat. If there's any criminals who want to do anything and they see you wearing this backpack, you're the first person that's going to be taken down, because they see you as an immediate threat. You could be you could be a military, you could be whatever, but in their mind, okay, real military and police and all of these and tactical people and intelligence people, they would never walk around with something like this in a foreign country, because they know that it puts a symbol on their back, okay, it puts a target on their back. So they would never walk around with something like this in a foreign country. So if you're walking around with something like that, it's because you want to show that you're tactical. And that is the absolute antithesis of everything that I've been teaching for these years. So why would you do that? No, stay away from the tactical stuff. Don't look tactical. Look like a business casual, cool, regular guy. You know, I like the business casual sexy, you know me. But if you want to go with the sneakers and everything and all that, that's cool. No problem, no problem. I like my Oxfords and I like my loafers. But you do what you need to do. And but the only thing important is to make sure that you stay away from the tactical stuff. Don't wear tactical gear when you travel or around, because you do not want people to know that you're tactical. The most tactical thing is to not know that you're tactical. That's the key thing here. The whole point of being tactical is that nobody knows that you're tactical. So that's the epitome of tacticalness in the tactical environment, to be non-tactical. Yeah. Anyways, that is my final word that I'd like to put out on this, and I'd like everybody to know, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And you guys, you all know, you can reach me anytime at totalurbansurvival.com. If you have any other questions, you can reach me on Telegram or any of our social media accounts. And you are more than welcome to message me and ask me more questions anytime you want. So people, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay strong, stay lethal, stay humble.